So I have a story I want to share that's loosely related to ripping shitties. This is David Gilbert writing for Vice magazine, and this will obviously tie into Ben's area of expertise, that being history, because we lost a real one. R.I.P. to Michael Protzman, 60 years old, died last Friday in the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, a week after a dirt bike accident at the Meadow Valley Motocross Track in Millville, Minnesota. Protzman, also known to his followers as Negative 48, was the leader of the Q-Anon cult who convinced thousands of people that former President John F. Kennedy and his son, JFK Jr., were still alive. Mm-hmm. So if you remember when that happened, all those people went down to Dallas and they were like, he's coming back. So the leader of that thing died on a dirt bike a couple days ago.
They thought that he was...
I'm
back like Jesus.
Oh, Ben.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this.
Oh, I'm
cult.
so fucking happy, you guys. Okay, so yeah, this is the problem. I'm on Facebook too much, so I'm like, oh my god, Negative 48 died. Like I already knew all of his backstory, but and we briefly mentioned him when this was like going down, but this shit is
Negative 48 like a specific temperature at which something happens?
No, it's related to what do you guys
badass new metal band?
I was gonna say sounds like that for sure.
It's the number of times he got laid.
But like opposite that.
Yeah. I got 48 charges against me. Still a virgin.
What if like you counted jacking off as like a negative getting laid? So he's only jacked off 48 times in his life.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's a respectable number.
That's enough to get into heaven.
Yeah, sure.
Might be hell in the negative.
As long as you're not, if you're not negative 100, then you don't go straight to hell when you die.
They go. Now, when I saw you, I didn't think you were going to get in, but there's a technicality that we just discovered. We've never seen it before. But you only jacked off 48 times, and you're 60 years old, and you were riding a dirt bike. All right, you're in. Get in there, Negative 48. Plot twist. JFK is inside, just not his son.
Oh, yeah.
This is what they ask you at the pearly gates. Like, it seems you've been laid 3 times. Like, really, you had sex 20 times, but you jacked off 30 times.
30,000 times.
30,000 times, so it just kind of evened out.
Your ratio is real bad. Real bad.
So,
God is watching you jack off is what I'm trying to say here.
So Negative 48 is related to Gematria, which is the ancient Jewish numerology system. So if you remember...
Is that like Pi? Is it like the movie Pi?
Well, unfortunately, what it is like is the number 23, starring Jim Carrey, actually incorporates some Gematria, because every modern cult, all their shit comes from bad movies. You know, Where We Go One, We Go All comes from White Squall, starring Jeff Bridges, a movie nobody remembers. So that's like the QAnon slogan, comes from a bad movie. The number 23 with Jim Carrey makes use of this, sort of bullshit.
Is it called like holy geometry or something?
Yeah, so it comes from, you're thinking of sacred geometry. That's
geometry.
Yeah, that's a little different. This is more like, okay, so, we recorded this episode on, what is this, 7/11/2023, and if you add those numbers up, it equals this number, and if you break that down, it means Joe Biden is the devil or something. It's one of those things where I love that. It's a completely open sandbox to basically take anything and make it mean whatever you want.
A lot of magic tricks work that way.
yeah, pretty much.
I'm guessing a lot of these guys early in their life weren't that into math.
No,
right.
Oh, no,
probably not.
Certainly not.
You get the calculator.
Yeah,
but they did write boobless a lot on calculators.
Well, the great thing about this is you don't ever have to solve for X, so you don't even have to go division to do this.
Yeah, well, he solved for X when he died of multiple blunt force injuries after he lost control of his dirt bike. So Protzman was from Federal Way, Washington, and he owned a demolition company prior to his emergence as a QAnon guru in 2021.
He goes, I used to blow up buildings, now I'm trying to blow up America.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Common theme, different careers.
So he rose to notoriety in 2021 when the Telegram channel he ran garnered tens of thousands of followers. In that channel, Protzman mixed QAnon conspiracies with a bastardization version of Gematria, a Jewish numerology system, which he claimed to be able to use to predict the future. He gained national attention in November of 2021 when he convinced hundreds of his followers to travel from all across the United States to Dallas, Texas, where he claimed that JFK and JFK Jr. would both reappear at Dealey Plaza on the spot where he was assassinated in 1963.
I love the way these guys are like, we've discovered an ancient numerological system that can predict the future.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that 3 weeks from now is when it's happening.
Yeah. Good thing we found it out in time.
It's not 3,000 years ago. It's not 3,000 years from now. It's next week.
The length of time that Facebook says is effective to run an ad campaign.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
So, all these years I spent not having any sort of job of any kind.
Yeah.
If we hadn't supported this guy when we did, it could have passed.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then JFK and JFK Jr. show up.
Yeah.
No one's there to greet them, and they go back into hibernation for 100 years.
Yeah.
My whole thing is every time they say something like that, what happens when they come back? Like, what's the plan for?
Here we are, 2023.
Well, they're just back all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and
so-
everyone's like, oh,
Well,
that's crazy.
So this is where the
I'm surrounded by true supporters here. I've somehow been alive this long, but there's nothing here about me having any powers. So I'm just going to go die slowly over the next 3 years.
I'm old, as it turns out.
I've got leukemia.
I think JFK would have been like 106 or something at this point. But anyway, no, to answer your question, it is basically where, the QAnon thing kind of merges into the numerology thing, because their whole thing is early QAnon lore is that Hillary Clinton had JFK Jr.'s plane blown up. So that's like an OG internet thing. That's the Clinton crime family conspiracy. And so the first iteration of this was JFK.
Asked me this on the day of my daughter's wedding. Sorry.
No, that was amazing. But so that's the original thing. But because all conspiracy theories are improv games where you're just yes and things, the original thing was this guy's like, oh, JFK Jr. is going to come back and expose the Clintons and somehow put Trump back in the White House. So that was like the original conspiracy. But because that's not enough to get people to Dallas, he then one-ups it by saying, oh, and by the way, you think JFK is actually dead? He's still around too. He's going to be there. 106 years old.
Are they supposed to like come out of the sky or just like get off a bus?
They're supposed to just reappear. And the crazy thing is when this was
in there.
Yeah,
like crawl up from the underground or something, or just like materialize.
It can be anything you want because again, this this is like a.
These are like particulars that like Harold Camping, the guy who's the 2012 Doomsday Cult guy. Same thing where it's just I love him too. It's the same thing where it's just like he had no specifics. He's just like it's gonna end. Look at the billboards I paid for. And then like day of, it's just kind of like, well, I'm tired. I need a nap now.
Yeah.
I don't get how you don't you go, all right, well, if you say a time, you're ticking the clock, right?
Yeah.
You just take a play out of the book of Revelations, be like, any day now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When that book came out, people were like, any day now. In 2,000 years, they're like, any day now.
Yeah.
Well, that's the mainstream apocalypse theory.
Right.
People are just like, we're in the end of times. Everything's about to go to shit.
Right.
Learn how to hunt and fish because you're fucked.
Right. Which to your point about Gematria, it's the same thing as that. It's like the selfishness of being like, it's going to end when I'm alive.
Yeah.
You're
It's
like,
also just
well-
people can't wrap their heads around. It's like, I'm probably just going to get cancer and die.
Like, yeah, that's it.
Most people just get cancer and die.
Yeah, which sucks, but like, it'd be way more fun if, demons came out of the earth. Like, that would be amazing, but I'm not counting on it.
It's also like, JFK's going to come back and save us on this day.
He's 106.
Now, sure, he could have.
And little John.
Him and his little son. Now, sure, he could have come back like, I don't know, like 15 years ago when we all agree shit started going bad.
Right.
But he just sat it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really bad before I come back. I'm going to need some dude to put together the numbers. Roughly
He's
3
like,
weeks.
not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
So there's a couple of, quote unquote, living JFK Juniors. There's Wano Sabin, and then there's Vincent Fusca.
What is a living?
So these are guys that the internet identified as being. So Wano Sabin is like a pretty chronic poster on like right wing stuff, and
This is all Facebook shit, right?
Yeah, at this point it's Telegram, Gab. It's
Internet
like all the right wing
Internet stuff
bullshit. But
Gotcha.
he's insinuated that he's actually JFK Jr. And then there's a competing JFK Jr. named Vincent Fusca, who people have identified in a lot of pictures of Trump rallies, and so they're like, he must be this guy. So there's two competing JFK Juniors that both won't state outright that they are JFK Jr. So there's that going on.
Well, whichever one dies first wasn't.
Definitely.
But when this was going down, the craziest thing was watching, like, people were filming it, and there was people walking around just being like, I just saw Tupac. And then there was somebody being like, I saw Robin Williams. And it's just all these insane people being like, everybody here is a dead celebrity and they're back. They're all back.
Hey, collectively, with their powers, they're going to
stop Joe Biden.
Write some more music for us.
Yeah.
They're going to get together and have a psychosis, schizophrenic conference. Plaza Square. What's it called?
Dealey Plaza.
Dealey Plaza.
All these famous people with a death wish have come back.
Yeah. Robin Williams and Tupac are coming together
to make Mrs. Doubtfire 2.
Mrs. Doubtfire Tupac. Huh? Are we cooking with gas?
We all have like a little trickle of blood coming down our nose.
They never say Biggie's still alive.
Yeah, well,
I think we all agree that if he did live, he would have made it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's also been such a thing for a while. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. The conspiracy theory is that Tupac is still alive.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the thing is there were people walking around just being like, I see Michael Jackson. It's so fucking wild because they've just got
Elvis.
that.
When I was a kid, it was Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
It's still Elvis sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. So when JFK didn't appear, Protzman's conspiracy simply changed, and over the next 18 months, up until his death, he would alter and change the predictions.
He didn't just break down and was like, "I've been lying this whole time."
Oh no, he doubled down.
Did I say JFK?
I meant LBJ.
And did I say Tuesday? I meant Thursday. So here's some new shirts.
2 days from this Tuesday. He keeps giving specific dates.
At 4:15 p.m.
Well, so that's the crazy thing is like all of these people that followed him down to Dallas got Airbnbs and dwindled their savings.
As an Airbnb owner, you got to be like, I wonder if this is like a cult person.
Yeah, I mean,
they're
not just visiting.
They're going to just like they're not worried about their deposit.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, burn this motherfucker down. JFK's coming back tomorrow. We're going to be liable for this.
Yeah. Well, you know, I having seen the Heaven's Gate footage, culture, say what you will, they're neat. They're very neat. Very sparse.
Some are.
Smart.
Some can be a little sloppy.
Yeah, it's true.
I base that on nothing. I have no idea why.
So he would change his predictions to suit his needs and keep his followers on board. Ultimately, he claimed that he was in direct contact with Donald Trump and that Trump was, in fact, JFK Jr. in disguise.
Oh, so he was back. Plot twist. He was here the whole time.
Turns out.
Shyamalan.
Yeah. Trump has access to the Mission Impossible mask briefcase. And he can make a Trump mask.
Unbelievable. His skin doesn't look real.
After the Dallas gathering, Protzman spent 18 months crisscrossing the United States, attending multiple Trump rallies, and he was accompanied by a rotating band of followers whom he ordered to cover his accommodations and food costs. Numerous followers abandoned their families and spent their life savings following Protzman.
I feel like their families weren't that disappointed when they left.
There were some people in this article that were like, yeah, like my sister just disappeared. And she really believes this shit. Like, there's some horrifying shit, which is, it's crazy because, like, I think at some point during the Corona Diaries on this podcast, I was like, Q-Anon horror movie, you know, make it where the dad gets radicalized on the internet and then tries to kill his family. And then it started happening. Like, it's happened.
So it's basically like internet
now.
frailty, except now instead of
frailty.
The Bible, it's the internet.
It's the internet. Yeah. Dad comes in and he's got an axe and he's just like, you're all Hillary Clinton, you know, or whatever.
The people who get into cults are crazy. And then the two most mainstream cultish things are politics or religion. And that's why you always get the super psychos.
Yeah, when it's the merger of both.
Yeah.
Now, hear me out here, Rivers. What if all three of his daughters were Hillary Clinton?
I mean, we considered that maybe he's right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How many Hillary Clintons there are?
What if she's Chelsea Clinton?
Yeah.
Chelsea Clinton? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After his accident 2 weeks ago, details about Protzman's condition were tightly controlled by his inner circle of half a dozen followers. So he's down to 6 people, which is that's somewhat comforting.
That's half a discipleship.
Yeah, it's true. Jesus did a lot with 12.
Jesus got 12 like 2,000 years ago. With inflation, you should have way more than that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. While they initially told followers in an online chat that Protzman had a potential brain injury and told them to pray for him, the inner circle has refused to answer any follow-up questions about his condition. So Vice got a hold of like the death record. Like he is dead as fuck. But
his condition, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
But the question is, when's he coming back?
We're getting there. We're getting there, Ben.
You can't even joke about this stuff.
I know.
They're one step ahead of you.
Yeah. I know. It's like the Trump thing initially, where like no one could make fun of it because like this is like so self-parodic. You know, it's such a self-parody in itself. It's hard to make fun of.
Oh yeah.
Don't step on my punchline, motherfucker. I'm a cult.
I'm going to continue to be ridiculous even after I'm dead. instead.
The Inner Circle shut down comments on his channel, and in at least one case kicked a follower out of their Truth Social group after they asked a question about Protzman's condition this week. Shelley Mullinax, who was one of Protzman's earliest followers, but had a falling out with him and other members of the group last year, she remains convinced of the conspiracies Protzman concocted about JFK. She believes his death is just part of the plan. Quote, "If that was the plan that God had for him, I know everything is going to be revealed soon." Mullinax said that in recent days, someone in her group had claimed Protzman was taken out, but she dismissed that.
Taken out. Somebody put him on a motorcycle.
Yeah, they picked him up.
This thing till you flip or we'll kill you.
They picked him up like a baby and placed him on a Kawasaki Ninja and kicked the fucking engine
Duct
on.
tape his legs to the sides of it.
I like, she literally did what you guys were joking about, where she just, anything that happened, she just goes, it's part of the plan.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is an improv game.
That was actually supposed to happen.
It's a ripcord on a parachute that you can pull over and over and over again.
It's a parachute made of ripcords. Actually, it's just woven together ripcords. She did,
So it doesn't catch any air. It's just you fall straight through. It's just a bunch of...
She did, however, claim that the person who died was in fact just one version of Michael Protzman, the evil version, and that the good Michael Protzman, who is in fact JFK Jr. in a mask, is still alive and well. So everyone is JFK Jr. in this.
She goes, you're just freaking out. He's dead, but like what he did was he divided into two.
Yeah.
I just want to know what non-politic things these people believe. You know?
Yeah, what policies are they pushing for?
There's no.
I want to just know what they think about the world. You know, like what do you think about ghosts and just
Well,
go down the train of just crazy people thought.
There's no ghosts. Everyone's
have you ever
alive.
Hunted Sasquatch before.
Ask them what they think about the carbon tax.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
or
probably
veganism.
know.
I want to know what they know about these kind of things.
Vice News spoke to several family members of Protzman's followers, and all said that their loved ones have dismissed the news of Protzman's death as fake. And in another Telegram channel populated with Protzman's followers, one admin wrote that they would be removing all posts regarding his death until we have absolute verification. And I'm like, I saw it. I saw the death certificate from the state of Minnesota. But
I'm going to say that no verification's going to satisfy.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the plan.
yeah.
You do understand that, right?
Yeah.
I do.
State of Minnesota's in on it, man. In one case, however, one of Protzman's followers has put her name forward as a potential replacement leader of the group. Quote, "They killed Michael Protzman's character, so I take over -48 crew."
I was going to say, she might be leaning a little bit more towards like, I think he might be dead, guys.
That's the only smart person in this fucking cult, is the person being like, I'm him now. Like, see, I mean,
when it's an open seat like that, you got to be like, well, I'm him and JFK.
yeah.
You're right. He's not dead.
Yeah.
I'm him.
I'm him.
It's always with these evil regimes, the second command's more evil.
Oh,
she's
like the Dick Cheney of this whole operation.
She's been thinking the whole time, you're
Lenin's dead.
Yeah.
Lenin's dead, and it's going to be either Trotsky or Stalin. So here we go. Oh yeah, and this is like someone, an expert that they interviewed. At this point, they should be talking to me. God damn it! Protzman's death won't change anything right away. I believe new conspiracies surrounding his death will evolve, but I do think his followers will dwindle and move on to other influencers over time. So that's where we're at.
Like
so,
on TikTok, like other.
yeah. Oh, they're everywhere. You know, they might get hooked up with the QAnon Queen of Canada. She's pretty incredible. She just got kicked off
I
an
thought you meant
island.
like Logan Paul, like influencers.
No, just a small Filipino lady who is in about 6 Winnebagos with a bunch of people traveling across Canada, and she claims to be the queen of Canada.
She claims to. I can do that.
I know.
Nobody actually wants to vie for that.
Yeah, no one's following me around. So.
I can live out of a car.
Yeah,
Claim I'm the queen.
yeah.
I mean, technically, any of us could claim to be the king of America. As
Yeah.
there is not an official king of America.
Not since.
Carter. Not just gotten Rivers' new episode idea for next time.
Yeah.
Numerous people who claim to be.
I was going to say we covered Emperor Norton during the pandemic for sure. The San Francisco, the king of America and protector of Mexico.
Oh, that's nice.
So, yeah, they're out there.
I'm not your king, but I will protect you.
Yeah,
From us?
My favorite detail in that one was he was in a feud with a guy who called himself George Washington Jr.
Oh, that's good.
So it was the monarchy versus.
So he came back. That one came back.
Yeah. He was back in 1870.
It's good to come. It's good that you can come back when you were never born.
Yeah,
it's easier.
So I don't know. It's but yeah. So that's rest in piss, Michael Protzman. That is the story of -48. It seems to be over now.
When you first read it, I was kind of hoping that he was riding the motorcycle through the hospital when it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like he crashes like bad news. He took out a lot of people who were on the verge. Good news, he was exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah,
he killed someone on the machine he needed to be on just before he died.
Well, the dirt bike thing is just so like shitty. Where like he's getting all of his followers to give him all of his money, and then this asshole's just riding dirt bikes around.
I want to
go to the Kawasaki dealership.
Yeah,
like, I got the cash now.
Yeah,
get it all play away.
Some fucking old crazy grandma deeded her house to me and shit. So now I'm riding.
Well, dude, I want to hear the news story about how many family members are like, "You're too old to be riding a dirt bike."
Oh yeah.
You can't ride that damn dirt bike.
Yes,
it's a bad idea.
The reasonable family members he was still associated with at that point.
Yeah. He is 60. Yeah, you're not allowed to rip shitties when you're in your 60s. I'm sorry.
That's all you do in your 60s is rip shitties.
Yeah, it's a different kind of ripping shitties.
You're not puffing stinkies anymore. You're ripping shitties.
Rivers, of the facts you told us about this guy, him being in his 60s and riding a dirt bike is like the 4th or 5th thing that I'm concerned about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We can't even get to the dirt bike yet. Like we need to.
Yeah. No,
what happened to the dirt bike? Is the dirt bike okay?
Yeah, is the dirt bike okay?
Anything about that?
That same lady, she's like, I'm taking over the account and the Kawasaki.
Yeah, the Stalin lady is certainly riding that dirt bike around.
What kind of dirt bike was it?
It doesn't say on the death certificate.
We need to figure out. We need to follow the VIN on it. Is it new? Where did he buy it? Was it cash? We need to find out where that came from.
Well, it seems like it was at a motocross track, so presumably it was just one of those you can roll up and just rent one for the day.
Do you think he was trying to jump and ascend into heaven?
Yeah.
He's like, if I jump high enough and do enough wheelies, God's going to take me up.
I can talk to JFK
He comes back down with JFK Jr. on the back, out of the sky.
Well, no, he
lowers his palm and JFK Jr.'s on it.
He hits the jump and then splits in two, and the evil version of him goes to heaven, and then the good version of him becomes JFK Jr., and that's how it happened.
And then immediately JFK Jr. is like, how many times did you jack off? If you're at like -3, so that means you got laid a lot then, because no one just jacks off 3 times in their life. Okay, I get it. You're cool. Still going to hell, but you're cool.